hide in the bushes to film them. She works as a prostitute 6 nights a week.
He didn't have a cigarette. He didn't have anything on him. So all of a sudden I looked out and I seen flames.
Spider on his gas tank. Because he is deathly afraid of the critters, he pulled out his lighter and decided to burn it.
I heard the bulldozer start. He was coming up our fence line, and immediately he started tearing out my wall, and I thought that's exactly where he was going to stop, but he didn't.
I gotta watch all of this, you know.
All you have to do is call me or come by and say, hey, I don't like your car being parked in your driveway, can you please move it? And I would have done it. The only uncomfortable thing is when I pull in my driveway, sometimes I'm afraid that he's going to hire somebody to kill me.
You hiding the lady? You gonna
I'm hiding a lady?
Yeah, all my love she laugh when she talk bullshit.
No, you didn't have to do the verbal F you and call me a bitch, did you? Did you?
Did you?
Hey, fuck off, you whore! You fucking sick prick!
You should be taking pictures of people on the beach!
You wanna stop assaulting me? Get off of me!
I didn't beat your ass!
I mean, nothing! I walked until I fell down on the football bike and slept on the football and had little throw rocks at me on my don't tell me!
Employee went, took the other lady's drink, the one who did not ask for it to go cut.
I just said, oh my goodness, I just got a $200 tip, like, this is amazing, this is crazy.
He only wanted to give $2. The IHOP gave him a refund and allegedly told the waitress to pay up or else.
What was her name? What was her name?
That's her name!
How long did you give me the cage? I haven't got your cage. Where did you put him? I haven't got your cage. Where did you put the cage?
Medley's wife had become suspicious that her husband was having an affair and set up a camera in the couple's home. But instead of some wayward woman, she found out that her husband and 2-year-old Shih Tzu Buster were keeping it in the family. Police Captain Ricky Morgan stated that Medley had sex with Buster because he was mad at his wife because she paid more attention to the dog.
During the evening of December the 1st, the underage perv was stalking the victim from behind. He suddenly reached under her skirt and yanked her panties down to knee level. When the girl began screaming, he took off, running down the street, fleeing the scene. The fishermen say a tiger shark took their bait around 10 p.m. on Wednesday. They pulled in the monster fish, which they estimate to have weighed over 600 pounds. When they cut open the fish, they didn't find it had a diet of plankton and krill. The crew found a partially digested human head and leg.
No!
The employees, who worked at a Mickey D's in the city of Cannes, near Lyon, apparently sold the marijuana through the drive-thru window. Customers reportedly got in touch by text with the fast food joint staffers, who would then habitually cut, weigh, and then bag their orders right at the restaurant's salad bar.
One evening when Kylie got up to feed their newborn baby, and she found her husband and mother watching a porn DVD together. Her husband reassured her that they'd accidentally put in the wrong disc and she was overreacting. Kylie's husband confessed he'd been sleeping with Kylie's mom even before he'd proposed to Kylie.
The cuckold had suspected his wife was cheating on him with Officer Feelgood for some time and finally caught the two in the act last Thursday night. He smashed the cop's car with a metal pipe and dragged the pig's naked butt out of the vehicle, whereupon he proceeded to administer an ass whooping.
Her boyfriend was sending naughty direct messages to another woman that wasn't her. After finding the messages somehow, the girlfriend took screenshots of all the unfaithful messages. She then printed them out and wrapped them up neatly with some wrapping paper. Then on Christmas Day, with her phone recording, she captures the moment when he opens a gift and realized he's been busted.
City Heat had to raise the height of their fence to stop Wilkins and his sons from throwing things over it.
Come on, you know, threatening people.
Yoko's white truck driving by Teresa's lawn. A mystery liquid squirts out the window.
Died suddenly. Never came back.
Frederick Davis of Toronto, however, has an unusual relationship with vegetables, as well as an odd hobby that mixes the pleasure of reading with the pleasure of self-pleasure. Davis was spotted back in April at a Toronto library with one hand holding a cucumber and the other hand actively touching his cucumber. He managed to escape the first time he was spotted cucumbering.
On the day of the incident, the 44-year-old had reportedly gotten into a bit of a sticky situation with the missus shortly before bedtime. So instead of calling it a night, Watson stayed up thinking of the perfect way to plot his revenge. His plan? To pour the industrial-strength superglue all over her vagina. And make sure he sealed it tight.
Fuck yourself and drop dead!
Drop dead! Drop dead!
45-year-old Christine Sears apparently happened to buy a horse in the field, so she decided to take it for a ride. She ended up outside a local store where she tied the horse up outside. Police were called to the store about a woman causing a disruption and found the stolen horse, which had a Walmart bag with 3 Keystone-like beers inside tied to the saddle horn. In the store, Saunders was intoxicated and apparently trying to shoplift items, including more beer. She was arrested and charged with public intoxication.
A cleaning lady stole the train and drove it at 80 kilometers per hour. After traveling for 1.6 kilometers, the train failed to stop at the end of the track and derailed, crashing into an apartment building. The cleaning lady, seriously injured, was taken to hospital. Fortunately, none of the 5 residents inside the house was injured.
But before downsizing eliminated her job as VP of Product Development in February, she used her position to help herself to some bling. Lots and lots of it, in fact. 'Footer House Oakley pocketed around $1.3 million from the sales of the purloined pieces. She now faces charges of wire fraud and transporting stolen goods across state lines.
22-year-old Espinosa was high as a kite when she decided it was cool for her to steal a baby python snake from the Garden City Petco. Then, as she was driving along Jericho Turnpike, the slithering reptile decided he'd had enough of being stashed away and coiled himself around Espinosa's face. Espinosa crashed her car into the New Hyde Park firehouse door along with not one, but 2 of their fire trucks.
You guys still got any of those videos in that stand-up comedy shit you did with me last year. I'll give you 10% if you can produce it, and we'll buy all brand new skateboards when I go public. Find any of these things on my video that you didn't already put on Facebook, motherfuckers, because I'll track you.
The 40-year-old German man entered his former home, drilled holes into an oil tank in the basement, and set the house ablaze. Unfortunately, the man left himself no time to escape the scorching fire and went down with the home.
At which point, Joe inexplicably produced an X-Acto knife and stabbed Chin in the arm and neck, some attending the exhibit mistaken for a piece of art performance. Reportedly telling authorities that she, quote, had to watch her bleed.
The man claims he was lying in a hospital bed after being prepped for heart transplant surgery when a nurse entered the room and initiated unsolicited sexual relations with him.
Egbert claims the police officer was allowing people to pet the horse, so she asked him if she could do the same, and he agreed. But when she tried to pet the horse, it bit off the tip of her finger and spat it out on the floor.
claims that the police officer involved in the incident didn't file an incident report or ask if she needed medical help.
You don't even know who you are.
Snitch, because I'll tell fucking
Oh, I'm
Carl
a snitch.
Benchmark.
I'm a snitch.
I know who you are.
Call Carl. I don't even know who he is. Call him.
Over here with the phone.
How are you gonna call him?
How am I gonna call him?
Yeah, if he's
I don't
dead,
know.
you fucking twat
I
out of your
call all
mind.
the time.
Look at your eyes.
You know what they
You're
do?
so fucking pinned up. You're a fucking weirdo, man.
No, he's a weirdo.
Yep.
He picks up his dog's business with his bare hand.
Stop taping me. You're taping me.
Why? Is that legal?
Why are you taping me? You'll tape me. Funny to you?
I'm talking to you, motherfucker! What you gonna do to me? Motherfucker! What you gonna do to me? What you gonna do to me? Come here! I'm gonna talk to you! Straight in your motherfucking life! What you gonna do, boy? Punk! Bitch! I'm sorry, ma'am. You can go ahead and step out. It's not ma'am. My name is Carla. Okay, Miss Carla. Ma'am, and you know damn well it's not ma'am. Well, I don't know your name till you just told me. You go. Take a good look. You know my name. It's Carla. You know my motherfucker. They don't play me. Because you can't miss. Whatever the fuck yours is, mine's called 24/7, baby, and I'm not ashamed of it.
23-year-old Fresno State University 50-year computer engineering student headed over to the school's sheep unit barn. A couple of students who happened to be near the barn that night heard some strange bleating noises and called Fresno State cops. Officers entered the barn to find the 23-year-old with his pants around his ankles and deeply in love with you. Looking for some sheep thrills?
The lady that was driving the other car got very, very annoyed and started making gestures to me with her hand signals, and then hung her head out of the window and said, this is my effing space, and if you don't move out of it, I'll push you out.
I'll push you out, she did. I can't tell about three men, the demented melody drives the steamroller to the outpost.
I was just wondering, since you guys think you're such studs, if you have anything to offer women outside the bedroom.
I thought, I got something to offer you. You can take a ride in my car, that's about all I'm going
He was put in handcuffs, then says during a pat-down, a female police officer squeezed his genitals so hard it ruptured his testicle.
She made me down the gate, and then I felt her reach, and she grabbed my butt. And then she grabbed and squeezed the gate and pulled down. And that's when I heard something pop, like I felt it pop.